So I know you guys got the DNPs from PJB, and then Miles on the brain. Baker will be limited out there. So, but looking forward to getting back on the grass with the guys. For the challenge this week, you know, a really, really good football team. 4-0, playing at their place. I think it's going to be a very, very big challenge. I think the guys are excited about it. Just looking at them across the board, obviously well coached, have a ton of respect for that coaching staff. And then what they're able to do on offense, you know, they got Big Ben who's playing great. He's so comfortable in that scheme, and they have playmakers across the board. Really good up front. On defense, very impressive. They attack. They're physical. Really, really good players. A bunch of first rounders up front. They vary their scheme, so it's going to be a huge challenge for our offense. And then special teams, very sound. You know, Coach Smith has been doing it a very, very long time. One of the great ones. So a big challenge for us, and I think the guys are excited. With that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Coach. The first one is going to go to Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Kevin. I think we all have Miles on the brain this week because of how last year ended for him, obviously. We all covered that thoroughly. So what is your view? I know you weren't here, but what is your view of him now in terms of being able to handle, you know, emotions in this game if they run high? Human nature would suggest that's a possibility.
Yeah, Nate, I think Miles has addressed it. I feel like it's something that he has definitely put in the past. He has definitely learned from, has grown from. And I know the focus for our team and for Miles is on this game. But I trust that he's grown a lot in the last year.
Thanks, Nate. Mary Kay Cabot, you have our next question.
Just in terms of Baker having to, you know, maybe be a little limited this week with the ribs. I mean, do you think maybe he'll throw a flak jacket on or something like that? I mean, do you think that, you know, will you guys be able to prepare the way that you need to for a big game like this? And do you think he'll get more action as the week goes along?
Yeah, I think we'll take it each day at a time here, Mary Kay. In terms of the flak jacket and all those type of things, I just don't know. He's sore today, so we'll work through it today and then see where he is tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Jeff Shadell, you have our next one.
Evan, we always hear about the Steelers changing up their routines and everything, their blitzes. How difficult does that make it to prepare for them?
They do a great job, Jeff. I mean, the tape is very, very impressive. They do pressure a lot based on the numbers, whether it's base or sub. They do a great job with it. They know what they're doing. They're attacking protections, and they rush with violence. I think it's a very impressive, formidable scheme.
Tony Grossi, what do you?
I'm sorry. Kevin, when you game plan for Dallas, which was a very explosive offense, you choose to come out aggressive on offense and attack rather than play a stall ball kind of game, which is a running game. Is that just your aggressive nature, or do you see a place for game planning, stall ball, possession type football?
Yeah, we haven't talked about stall ball. I was kind of back in sixth grade CYO, Tony, keeping the ball away from the other team. Yeah, I think honestly, the way we look at it offensively every week is how can we move the ball early and late? How can we move it? And how can we put some points on the board? So it's whatever the defense, you know, we've talked about it before, but it's really what do we feel like gives the defense problems? What do we feel like we do well? And that's typically where our game plan lands.
Okay, and as far as your quarter, limited usually means not participating in team. I want to make sure, is that accurate? Is that the definition of limited? So Baker won't be in team today?
I wouldn't go as far as to say that, no.
Okay. And do you think it's for a game of this nature that the quarterback has to get consequential teamwork during the week to be prepared for a Sunday game like this?
No, I think every game kind of stands on its own merit. I mean, you get ready for Thursday night games with very limited amount of full speed team reps. So I think every player is different, and certainly every week is different.
Thank you.
Scott Patrick, you're up.
Hey, Kevin, is Ronnie Harrison in the building?
Yes.
Has he been able to do anything in the protocol?
Honestly, I'd be speaking out of turn.
Okay. And then when Claypool has a game like he did Sunday against the Eagles, like what does having another playmaker like that add to that already kind of stacked Pittsburgh offense?
Yeah, that's a huge benefit for their offense to have a young player that can come in there and big, physical, make plays on the ball. To couple him with the other weapons that they have is a very big advantage.
Thanks.
Next question will come from Daryl Ryder.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask about your safety situation. Carl down, Ronnie down. You've had some pretty rotten luck injury wise at that position, and you got to face Pittsburgh's offense, which has been pretty prolific here early in the season. And just curious the state of that position. How do you think the players that have had to step in and step up have handled the adversity, and how much of a concern could it be going into Sunday that if Carl and Ronnie are not able to go?
Yeah, I think we'll just kind of take it day by day as it relates to that, Daryl. But we talked about it earlier in the week. I mean, Ronnie went in, performed. Sheldrick went in, performed. That's what you got to do as backup. And so I know it's cliche, but we've kind of lived it. It's next man up, and we don't expect there to be a drop off when the depth comes in.
Last week against Indianapolis, you faced a tough defense. You're going to face another tough defense. Just could you maybe run through what you've seen from the Steelers defensively that makes them so tough and difficult?
Yeah, both great defenses, and both are completely different schemes. And I think that's the challenge of the NFL is week to week, you're going up against some great schemes, great players, and sometimes it's completely different, a 180 from the previous week. So they play a different front than the previous team. They're going to blitz us a lot, but I just think it's a great marriage of really good football players with a really, really good scheme.
Withers, we'll go to you.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Coach. I know you only spent a year with Mike Tomlin in Minnesota. I'm just curious. He seems pretty intense, whether he's coaching or ordering a hamburger. Was he always like that when you guys were around him?
I have a ton of respect for Mike, a good friend. We had a great year together. You got to remember that was Mike T, Carl Dunbar, who's the defensive line coach there in Pittsburgh, Joe Woods, who's our defensive backs coach, right. Kevin Rogers, who's here, Chad O'Shea, who's here. So a little bit of a Vikings reunion there for us, but so impressed what he's been able to do there over the course of however many years it's been. He's done a great job.
Yeah, more specifically, what impresses you most about the way Mike coaches his teams?
They're always prepared. He does everything. They're prepared. They win football games any which way they need to. He's a very outstanding coach.
Thank you, Tom. Mary Kay Cabot, you're up.
Coach, considering the severity of Ben's injury, with that elbow, how remarkable is it that he's been able to come back, perform the way he's performed, and does he look any worse for the wear when you're watching him on film?
He's a problem for defenses. He's a outstanding football player. Again, I think the comfort level in the scheme, what they've been doing there for so long, he understands exactly where to go with the ball, gets it to the playmakers, still is a physically gifted player that he's always been. And you said it, coming back off of injury, he looks outstanding to me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Nate Ulrich, your line's open.
Kevin, do you expect to get Landry and Vernon back in practice later in the week?
I do.
Okay. And I just wanted to ask you, we're talking about their defense and the challenges it presents. How much confidence do you have in your offensive line, the way the guys have been playing? And you speak a lot about Bill Callahan, but can you just kind of quantify the Bill Callahan factor in the way that those five guys up front have been rolling for you?
Yeah, I think they're playing good ball for us. We're going to need them to continue to do that in this game from a protection standpoint, from a run game standpoint, obviously. But I think you'll see with all 5 of those guys, who's ever in there, I think the guys are applying the technique that we're teaching them. And you mentioned Coach Callahan. He does a great job with those guys. They spend a lot of time together in the meeting room. They spend a lot of time together on the practice field, and they're taking to heart the coaching that Coach Callahan provides.